Hello, and welcome back. Northstar here with a new campaign of my Hearts Iron 4 Let's Plays. I will be trying to muster energy, get back to my Germany run. There are a few things that bother me, including Paradox reworking some of the focuses after I took them, which meant I'll never have the war support or consumer goods factor I should. Screwing up an Ep1 war with the Soviets. uh it's not understanding how certain mechanics work. There's some frustrating things, and I'll probably be coming back to that. But for now, I wanted to do something new and in parallel and in complement with my multiplayer campaigns. One of which, the one that's labeled Campaign 1, probably never really continue, but the newer US Mexico one should be continuing. I'm going to be taking a trip this weekend, so I'm not going to be doing that this weekend, but next weekend I should probably get some new videos of that, and most weekends, probably a video a week, maybe two, is going to be approximately the pace on it. So it's going to be slow. I don't want to wait for that, and I've been discouraged with the Germany run. Um, I'll get back to it. Almost treat it like a disaster save because yeah, I screw up. Although actually things are going in my favor. I will beat the EU, be able to puppet most of Europe into my faction, and then I'll be taking on the Soviets. I didn't want to freaking march to the Urals. It's such a painful thing to do. It's the whole point of going communist as Germany, is I wanted to avoid marching out to the Urals and ally with the Soviets. Well, gathering storm. Dark times are coming. In Europe, Hitler has consolidated his power, as the tension is now increasingly drawn beyond Germany's borders. Mussolini's Italy continues to embark on daring military ventures, while the Empire of Japan stands poised to attack China and Asia. Almost 20 years have passed since the end of the Great War, and the world has yet again been doused in gasoline. A single spark may be all it takes. Now, I'm going to do the US. That's going to make me hopefully a little better at them. I've done now 2 runs as the US Communist where I've screwed up the timing of the Union Representation Act, and in one of them, the London Naval Treaty. Now I'm understanding how bad you can lose 20% stability easily in a very short time from that, which is ridiculous just for violating a naval treaty. Devs should have made that less powerful ages ago. Maybe 8% stability or something. 20? That's insane. Um, it's like all the default rights here. I Too many focuses depend on the Soviet Union going communist, and whenever I leave them up, very often they seem. I mean, they did write up some once in my German game, or actually in Sen, but almost always they seem to go fascist or Tsarist. It pisses me off. It's just I don't. I'm gonna set them to right opposition. It's more predictable than left, and if I've gone communist by that time, I can get a relations boost with them. Although I probably won't have. And it does create weird things with them working with the rest of Europe. Maybe I should do left opposition. I don't know. It's stronger in AI hands because they can actually do the 5-year plan focuses until they're attacked. There's not just any communist path, is there? Where I don't know what it's going to be, but it's not. I just don't want them to go czarist or fascist. Other than that, I don't care. You know what? I'll send them to left opposition because I don't know well enough what they do. and that's what's going on in my other campaign. And the experiences I get from this will help me in that. I mean, part of me wants to set some of the other countries that passed the tote there. Like, I think France was going communist there, and Belgium was going fascist. But if I start setting too much, it'll take away a lot of unpredictability, and too many of them went communist there. That, like, then if their remaining ones are rammed, almost the entire world will go communist. I suppose since I know that Mexico, God, they have a lot of paths. Secularism, the rule of law, right itself towards the U.S. Social Catholicism, moderate formers will create a new concord within Mexico, bring an end to the social strife, totalitarianism towards Britain. Fascist dictatorship, theocratic order. Cardenismo. Strike at the Yangai barrels. I don't know. There's not going to be perfect perils. If I... You know what? No. Because I'm pretty sure there's a reason for the right opposition. It interacts with Spain. And I'm pretty sure in the ongoing campaign that the victor, Spanish Civil War, by the way, in many ways, I didn't realize independent communism, the POUM path, is in many ways the strongest for Spain. Their focus tree is weaker than the Second Republic. But if I had not realized in the past, when they go their independent communist path, it leads to the Second Republic still existing, and they like take the role of the anarchists. I forget if that happens when they go Stalinist, but it definitely happens when they go the POUM path, which interacts with the right opposition. Gives Soviet Union a buff if they win and the Soviets take a certain focus. But yeah, if you're playing Spain and you took the independent communist path, Second Republic will take the Soviet aid. They'll get factories from that. Of course, if the nationalists split into fascist and Carlist, they'll each get industrial focuses. So you actually end up stronger, not through your own focus tree, but through the focus tree of your rivals. And you get international brigades while you're in the war, which gives you a bunch of manpower. Not quite as much as the Stalinist path, but I don't really know what the Stalinist path does. It's technically a new age. Resist the anarchists. So this is actually a path for the Second Republic. There's a center path where they take Stalinist doctrine centrist. It's I don't know how the Civil War breaks up if they do that, but I'll just send them to the independent communist path. And curious how these interact. United European Socialist Republics. Let's just do that. All right. Anyhow, it should be an interesting, but mostly plays the U.S. and try and not screw up the U.S. focus tree. Now, I might not upload this immediately, as I'm going to be traveling soon. And I probably just going to want to shut down my computer, so it might not get uploaded. But if it does, it's going to be a while till the next video. There's a surface or a subspecialist. Um, since the most important things are actually surface ships, I'm going to take the subspecialist because he'll progress a bit slower. I'm actually use subspecialist for surface ships and surface specialists. That's because the dev should have thought of this. Slower progress is better on the special projects. It gives you a chance at more iterations. So there's that. Construction 1 for sure. Basic machine tools so they can concentrate on history and pack more factories into a state. Trying mechanical engineering should probably be the 4th slot because it's the quickest, and I like to have the slowest things up top just for my own ability, my brain to process stuff easier. Pause that for a second. I'm always, what do I do with this slot? Focus on infantry equipment. I'm probably good just getting my Civil War out of the way early. Delaying it has advantage, but you can't fully desegregate the United States. You can avoid a civil war altogether if you're just willing to take most of the communist focuses, but not desegregate the South. But if you try to desegregate the South rises up, and you have a second civil war. And if I want to do that, it comes with a nice manpower boost, which more makes up for whatever you lose in your civil war to show. Also, got to start with continuing New Deal. Wait. Before I actually start it, I'm going to start with a medium lobbying effort. This is kind of cheeky. Also, I'm not going to be granting any statehoods. Special measures, not immediately. This will technically put me in the negative. Like I said, kind of cheeky, but it can be done, and you can't go below 0 through daily gain, only through things that take a lump sum. Full desegregation gets you a 20% recoverable population factor, so that's like 2% when you're at service requirement, which is probably the highest you'd ever go as the U.S. You're not going to lose. That's millions of men. You're not going to lose that many in your Civil War, so it more than makes up for it. The lead-up events to the Civil War give you extra build slots and move factories into the South, which you just recapture them. You do lose cores and have to re-core states reintegration. But while the Civil War is going on, especially if you drag it out for a while, Congress and Senate are both smaller, which means you don't have to have as much support, I don't think, for a lot of your focuses. I'm pretty sure all these thresholds are percentage. So, like, it's 261 representatives, but when your Civil War is going on, it's less that you need. And the lobbying is just effective. So, because the House and Senate are smaller, it's easier to get them to agree with your priorities. You have, like, you don't have the passive opposition from, I guess, Southerners. And the Bund, if you don't take Guarantee American Dream, which is not, it's worth not taking until after you start your Civil War, because then they form the Non-Aligned States of America, which has a generic focus tree. And if you don't have your Civil War, you don't want to lose a ton of manpower. So in terms of good things are either naval, or it could go like failed hospitals or logistics just to grow the Ford Motor Company. Probably Navy, because the way the Civil War is coded is a certain number of ships go to the Confederacy. So no matter how many you have, which means if you have build up a bigger or better navy, and this would be more of a focus on quality over quantity. Let's see. I could do sonar since at the beginning I'm producing destroyers. They're just sub hunters. But hydrophone's usually enough to make subs a tree. It's not actually about sinking them. Magnetic mines or detonators that requires navic speed to speed up. I forget what. Let's see. 250 from these. I like to see what the ratio is of funding to speed. 133 days. 44. It's about 3 times. Slightly less efficient on torpedoes, but it's a useful part. Make mines 1,000. 177 days. Norfolk's the best Greater Orient. It's only 800 for the first trait. Shipyard expansion, which is actually very valuable. So let's see. 750. You get more than 50 in that time. Yeah, I'm probably better with a couple shell improvements in the meantime. And wanting, I like to concentrate my efforts. So first upgrade Norfolk and then Newport News. The goal is to get this trait, Naval Station Norfolk, at which point that's really high value. And there aren't a ton of super valuable things to go after that. Mass destruction takes a lot of other traits. You need this and this. It's 3 traits further. And Newport News can benefit carriers and actually has some really nice traits. Speed, which helps with dodging torpedoes. Heavy attack, advanced fitting works, production output. That does tie them with the Norfolk, which starts off, let's see, initially it's 5%. This gets it to 10. Starts off 0. That's Brooklyn. 5. This gets to 10. So they never quite have the production output of Norfolk. But extra HP for all cruisers and destroyers, stuff like that. It's just the traits are better. Splinter protection, high-speed cruising and transom stern. Light battery hit chance, which is suddenly bound light attack, which is what you're getting around the same time with Norfolk. Because instead of hitting harder, you hit more times, and each hit can do a crit, which can have effects besides just damage, like disabling enemy rudders, making ships easier to hit. Yeah, long story short, I'm going to want to focus first Norfolk and then Newport News. Shipbuilders. Right. Typical approach. The U.S. you do get some. I forget if you get any infrastructure. You get an infrastructure build speed. We're putting green away if you. Yeah, you get infrastructure if you do neutrality act, but then you're locked out of communist focus. You can do limited intervention with it. However, in the November elections, I do get the New Deal spirit, which will improve infrastructure build speed. Usually Developing the South is great early on. They have a lot of build slots. They're really underdeveloped. Da, 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 It's a lot of oil in California and Texas, for what it's worth. However, you need 3 infrastructure here. Louisiana, South Carolina. It's both only need 2 levels of infrastructure, and then there's 4 build slots that all benefit from the faster speed. 3 build slots, 2 build slots, 3 build slots. 5, but requires 3 levels of infrastructure. It's quickly, because I know Louisiana, South Carolina are going to get all this. I need at least 1 more place that I build up. North Carolina is a decent candidate, as is Georgia. Yeah, I know these places won't be oil once the war breaks out. However, in order to grab war economy, they need to have a certain fraction of my factories. Meaning to grab war economy, and you can't go communist immediately or you lock yourself out of a lot of focuses. You do want the Confederacy to actually have a lot of build slots. So developing the South is a good idea. Civ will be less dangerous than Mill if you do that. Probably further north so you can recapture stuff quickly after I go war economy. That's where I want to develop. Tennessee Valley Authority. Historically a big deal. And North Carolina. Kentucky. I think it remains oil in this version of events. So that's maybe not a good idea. Florida's vulnerable to naval invasion. Their main victory point is Miami. Well, that is a marsh, which is brutal to take. So maybe I forget that. I believe this joins the Confederacy. It's got a lot of build slots, but also only 2 infrastructure. Yeah, I guess just on the coast here, Georgia. The infrastructure also make it easier to advance down the coast later because troops move faster with higher level infrastructure. That'll make easier for reinforcements to also arrive. Louisiana, South Carolina, and North Carolina, and also Tennessee, right? It's probably enough Civ. After that, I should start thinking about maybe Mill in the north. Right, Louisiana, South Carolina, Tennessee. Alright, then. Oh, excuse me. If I actually need 4 here, because with 7 more, well, no, with my consumer goods factory factor, that won't quite fill that up. Alright, I didn't set Japan to communist or anything, so I could have a West Coast invasion on my hands. It's worth noting. I'm gonna not be able to pull the whole Pacific fleet. I don't know where the threats will come from in the end. Alabama, but also Oregon. Wait, that's Washington, and Oregon's here, and it's good to do early because it has 3 build slots, but it's only 4 max, so it won't gain anything with concentrate industry. That Oregon's even more important than North Carolina. So Oregon, North Carolina, Georgia. Minnesota will be non-aligned states, and I'll be able to import steel from them. But what? No. Probably do some of this micro off camera because it's gonna drive you guys nuts otherwise. Ohio. I think that's non-aligned states of America. Civil War. Illinois definitely is. I think Missouri stays loyal actually, because it's like a line. I remember it goes down here, and all this is non-aligned. Illinois being the furthest south. Kentucky and Illinois are the surprising ones for staying loyal. Sorry, it's a little aluminum. It's further. All right. Oregon, North Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Missouri, Kentucky. Guess I'm actually going pretty heavy on Civ. Let's see. Alabama. Missouri should come before Alabama. Kentucky. So we need to do Mississippi. All right. Let's just Civ all the way down. I'll actually, by this point, probably be able to do a 6th factory. So, hmm. put it at the end because then it'll be most likely to have time to actually benefit from the increased. No, actually at the beginning because a lot of these will get an extra belt slot. So Mississippi, Missouri, Alabama, Kentucky. Fun. Probably screwing something up. Right, I'm gonna need at least one line of the Springfield. No, it's outdated. Rifles. All right, this is probably boring for you guys. So, do some off-camera micro. Cut the video here. I'll be back when I've got everything figured out with how I'm gonna set things up. It's easier thing for me too when I don't have to deal with the pressure of being on camera. So I wish you all the best. Take care of each other. Be kind to yourselves, and I will see you in the first. This will be labeled episode 0 because it's just set up. The first real video of this. Until next time. It was fun to get started. Lead you home. Adieu.